One of the worst things you can do is become a results oriented person, especially if you're trying to be successful in terms of finances or in terms of physique, in terms of anything really. The worst thing you can do is just motivate yourself off of success. And I speak from a place of experience because I go through this all the time and I have to constantly remind myself that if I keep basing my actions on the level of outcome that they gain, excuse me, if I keep basing my actions on the level of outcome that they gain, then I'll just never act as soon as something goes wrong. So, for example, this week I made $800 or $820, which for me is like the worst I can do, right? But about like 2, 3 months ago, that was my best week. So, first of all, you need to understand the difference in improvement. But for example, this week I made $800. Imagine I were to say now, I made $800. I'm so demotivated. I made no money. I'm just gonna, fuck off. I'm not gonna do any work. What's gonna happen next week? It's gonna go even lower. And it's gonna dip even lower. And it's gonna dip even lower. Whereas you have the other alternative, which is what I'm trying to tell you in this video, is to connect to what you're trying to do. To connect to the philosophy, or at least the thought process behind your actions. So for example, the best weeks I've had of $1,200 plus were the weeks that I didn't realize how much money I was making. I honestly didn't. I was just thinking about how can I say this better? How can I be more emotionally in tune with the people I'm speaking to? How can I help in the best way possible? And how hard can I work? And it's all because I connected to something very deep within me wanting to improve. It had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with power. It had to do with my sense of fulfillment and me wanting to know that I have become better. And so when I became better, because I actually focused on that instead of the money, guess what happened? The money came. I made $1,200 in 1 week. And it wasn't because I was focusing on, let's get as much money as possible, let's try to get money out of this person, get money out of this person. It was actually the opposite. I was trying to give all I could to each call. I was trying to truly understand people's situations and problems, and then understand how we could help, be authentic, and be honest. And the level of emotional intelligence it took was far superior than any sales skill or anything like that. And it was because, once again, I was trying to improve as a person. I was trying to improve my skills. I was trying to improve my understanding. I was not trying to chase after money. And so I tell you this from experience. When you base how much work you're going to put in off of how much results you're going to get, especially in the first phases of you trying to build something, that is the wrong path to go. Because how success works, at least the way I've seen it, it's compounding. There's no reason why I should have gone from making probably $1,200 my first month to $4,000 my fifth month, sixth month, in just like that, right? And for some of you that may seem like nothing. For me, it seems like a lot. And it's because it was completely compounding. Like I jumped from $2,000 to $4,000 in 1 month. And that was because I just kept being consistent. And it's something that's missing in many young men today is consistency, because the amount of hard work it takes to get to, $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month really isn't like super, super hard. Like, don't get me wrong, it's difficult, but there's levels to it. It really just takes knowing what actions you have to do each day and just doing them each day without a pause. You do them each day and there's no way you can get around it. That's what builds success. And so it works like almost a roller coaster. So you ever been on a roller coaster that's like calm and you go up and you go up and you go up and you go up and you get to the peak and you're looking down on everything and boy, you're scared. And then just goes all the way down. Well, the downwards curve for me is like the success portion of it, because it's all building, building, building until one day it just all lets go in front of you and you realize, wow, look what I've created. And it's strange. It's like a bell curve. It's not like I put this in, I get this out. I put this in, I get this out. It's like an investment. Like you put it into a stock and you know the next day you're not going to get a ton back, but you know that in 10 years it's going to compound. And so I've only been doing this 6 months. I've only been consistent at what I'm trying to do, which is appointment setting, for 6 months. And I've already achieved great results. Imagine I took the next 5 years, which is what I'm planning to do, on becoming a better salesperson. Well, more than salesperson, on becoming a better persuader, a better communicator, and just a better leader. Imagine where I'm going to go. And this is me documenting my journey, essentially, and trying to take some people along with me. Pellegrino brick. Dude, I buy like, I'm not kidding when I say this, I buy like at least 10 of these a week. Maybe not 10, maybe 10. They're so good. And then, quick hack. You mix that with colada, which is like a Cuban cappuccino, very strong. You have focus for hours. Then after the gym, which I just came back from, protein shake. So that's just a sneak peek as well. So anyways, back to it. So the point is, and I keep saying this in many of my videos, I want you to pick something and fucking stick to it. I'm speaking to myself here. Pick something and stick to it. I don't care if it's sales, I don't care if it's marketing, I don't care if it's engineering, I don't care if it's medicine, I don't care if it's law. Something, pick a skill, even car detailing, and stick to learning it for the next year. Just so you can prove to yourself, like, because you need to, this in sales, you use this a lot. You need to think of the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. The worst case scenario of you picking any of these skills and sticking to it for a year is quote unquote wasting a year of your life. But is it really? Because you're going to learn that skill. You're going to have it for the rest of your life. And the best case scenario is that you actually make fucking money. And you realize that, holy shit, if I had just stopped getting shiny object syndrome and going after this and then going after that and trying this and trying that business model, when really I was just jerking my own mind off, maybe I would have made some money. And now once you have the results from this past year, now you know what's possible. And you don't have to constantly be getting more like dopamine feedback, like success, to know that you're moving, you're progressing, right? And the level after this is really connecting to what you do. So for example, me with YouTube videos, I've proposed to make a YouTube video 5 days a week. And before it was very inconsistent, but now it's just part of my process. Like before I start work, I make a YouTube video. Why? Because I connect to this. Because I know that in the future, I want to be able to lead young men to have better lives the same way that I'm leading myself. It's something I truly connect to. I'm not making any money off of this, but I don't really care because I know what's going to happen. I know that success is compounding, and it's compounding faster than you'd imagine. So who knows where I'll be with this YouTube channel from a year from now. Speaking of which, quick shameless plug. I made a free Discord community just to speak with the guys who followed me. I'll put the link down below. I'd like to build a community where we're talking about self-awareness, sales, fucking any skill, just improving in general. We'll figure it out as we go, but really want to connect with you all there. But yeah, so again, success is water. You gotta stay hydrated. No. You overestimate what you can achieve in 2 months, and you underestimate what you can achieve in 2 years. And this is something I was telling my friend, is that he's very ADHD, he's very like autistic in that sense, but once he chooses something, he obsesses over it, and he becomes good at it. And so I told him, what if you just were fucking accountable for once, and held yourself to something for 6 months? Imagine what you would improve on. And he's like, I can't pick what I want to do. I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm like, yeah, but the person that tries to catch 2 rabbits ends up catching none. I want you to remember that. When you try and catch 2 rabbits, you end up catching none. So this is not, oh, gosh, everybody says this. They're like, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. The average millionaire probably had 1 stream of income that took him to $1 million and then got the other 7 streams. Just a disclaimer. So again, stop underestimating the power of what your focus can achieve when you stick to one thing. And ideally, if you connect to that one thing that you're trying to do, there is no way that you will not achieve success in it. So that's the rant for today.